Hi, I'm Erica Heisey. If you have found this page, it's probably because we're friends and I've told you about it. I'm not YouTube famous yet, but don't tell my kids because, you know, they love to make fun of me. Anyway, I just got done teaching for one of the gyms that I teach for in Kansas City here called Everfit, and I was teaching over a Zoom meeting and we ran out of time. So I'm going to put the whole practice together and post it on my YouTube page and then link it to my personal page probably, maybe send it to Dawn through Everfit. If you follow me through Yoga Fit, feel free. If you follow me through the Lenexa Rec Center, you did this workout yesterday, or maybe you'd like to do this workout and you can do it here. Anyway, we're gonna get started. You just need a mat, and if you don't have a mat, that's okay. You can certainly do this without a yoga mat. Just take your socks off. Make sure that you're on a hard surface. I unfortunately am on carpet, and so my mat will slip a little bit, but I'm trained to know exactly how to hold those inner thighs together so I don't injure myself. My biggest thing is don't injure yourself. If you've never done yoga, take it slow. It's all about your breath. If you have done yoga and you're a master, what are you doing here? Just kidding. Welcome. Anyway, we'll get started. I'm going to start in child's pose. So find your way comfortably, fitting on your mat. Your knees are going to be wide to the edges of your mat, your toes to a touch. Sit your hips down on your heels. Reach forward with your hands. Let your head come down to the earth, forehead down, and breathe. Connect with your breath. Inhale. As you inhale up, I want you to hold your breath at the top for just a beat, and then exhale, sigh. Let everything melt to the ground. And inhale. Hold at the top. Exhale, sigh. One more time together. Inhale. Hold. Exhale. Melt. Keep breathing at your own pace. Hopefully you can hear me through my AirPod. I'm trying to exaggerate my breath to encourage you to breathe. Allow this child's pose to take your tailbone back to the back edge of your mat, and your head, your arms, your elbows reaching forward to the front of your mat. Keep breathing. Allow your hip joints to open, your glutes to sink, your heart to be heavy. Good. Inhale your way forward. Lifting your hips off of your heels, bring your knees underneath your hips to about hip width distance. Bring your arms up, hands underneath your shoulders. Coming into a tabletop position. Drop your belly. Lift your tailbone, lift your chin. Cow pose. Breathe here, inhaling. Exhale, tuck your chin round through your back. Drop your tailbone down to the ground. Arch through your back. Exhale. Inhale, cow pose. Exhale, cat. Tuck your chin round your back. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. One more time. Exhale, cat. Good. Coming back to your normal spine, your neutral spine. Leave your hips exactly where they are. You're going to lift your right hand out towards the side, extending, reaching. And then as you exhale, thread the needle. Take that right arm under your left. Put your your right shoulder down. Right side of your head down. Reaching forward with your left hand. And kind of twist through. Let the back of your shoulder blade open. Stretch here.
Is Mom down here? Nope, stay there.
Inhale. Press into your left hand. Bring yourself back up to that neutral spine. And we'll switch, go the opposite way. Inhaling your left hand up. And exhale. Reaching under. Bodhi, are you going to cross in front of my video?
No, curl.
You can feel free, since I've just introduced you. Oh, he crawled under the video. Stay in your thread the needle. Ignore your children. Good. Press into your left hand. Inhale your way, your right hand, sorry. Inhale your way back to a neutral spine. Moving into puppy pose, leave your hips exactly where they are. Take your hands as far forward as possible. Allow your heart to sink. Your tailbone stays lifted. Bring your forehead down to the ground. Breathe. Let your heart sink. Tailbone lift. Stretching through the middle of your back. Maybe it feels good to lift your chin and place your chin on the ground. Good, inhale. Looking up, shift your weight forward. Bring your elbows underneath you. Then press your hands into the ground. And then returning back to that neutral spine. Take your weight into your fingertips, taking it a little bit out of your wrists, cupping through your bottom of your hands if you're on carpet. Take your toes, tuck them under. As you exhale, I need you to lift your hips to the sky. Coming into a downward facing dog. Once you reach your hips up, take one heel, reach towards the ground as you bend the opposite knee. And then switch, just pedaling out your feet. Lengthen through your hamstrings, lift your tailbone. As your mind starts to concentrate on your feet, I want you to bring your attention back to your hands. Are you digging through your wrists? Lift the bottom of your hand, put some weight into your fingertips. Pinch your forearms in. Roll your upper arms out. Lift your tailbone. Good. Lift both of your heels nice and high. Reach up with your tailbone. Stretch those hamstrings. And exhale. Lowering your heels down. Reaching for the ground. Maybe not landing on the ground. Inhale. Look to the front of your mat. Step forward. Exhale. Hang in a forward fold or a ragdoll. Take each hand, grabbing for the opposite elbow. Let your head hang heavy. Maybe start with bent knees. Slowly allow your hamstrings to warm. And then extending your legs straight. Head inhale. Lift into a half lift. Take your hands onto your shins, extending straight through your back, shoulders away from your ears. Exhale, lower down, forward fold. Inhale, reach all the way to the top. Bring your hands up towards the ceiling or the sky. Exhale your hands through heart center, bringing them to a touch all the way down to your waist. Inhale your way up. Exhale, swan dive. Hands straight out, flat back as you lower all the way back down to that forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, plant your hands, step back to plank. Hold this plank. Fire up your belly, fire up your core, your thighs. Exhale, drop your knees to the ground. Shifting your weight so you're directly under, your wrists are directly under your shoulders. Take your elbows, squeeze them towards your rib cage. Lower down. Inhale, lifting up through your cobra. Lifting a little higher if you'd like. And then exhale. Tuck your toes, lift your hips, downward facing dog. As we move through our vinyasas, feel free to leave your knees up or down. Feel free to lower all the way to the ground or do a correct chaturanga and just lower the 90 degrees with your elbows. And then go right directly to your cobra or up dog. Good, inhale. Look to the front of your mat, walk, step forward, exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, exhale, fold. Inhale, come all the way to the top. Hands touch. Down, exhale through heart center. Inhale, sweep your hands up high. Exhale, swan dive down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, plant your hands, step back to plank, flowing through. Knees up or down, lowering down. Inhale, up to cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Breathe. Exaggerate your breath. Inhale, look up, walk forward. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise all the way up. Exhale, hands through heart center. Inhale, sweep. Exhale, swan dive. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, plant your hands. Step back to plank. Flow through. Knees up or down. Lowering through your chaturanga. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Connect back to your breath. Take some deep breaths here. Moving on. Inhale, raise your right leg. Reach that toe up to the ceiling. Stretch through that left hamstring. Exhale. Bring your right leg all the way through. Drop your left knee to the ground. Drive that right heel into the ground. Lift yourself up. Hands come up, reaching for the sky. As you exhale, lower your hips forward. Stretching through your left hip flexor. Breathe. Good. Exhale, hands come down. Shift your weight back to a half splits. Make sure your hip stays above your knee. Lifting your right toes. Maybe you have to lift that right heel to straighten that right leg. Breathe. Try to keep your back as flat as possible as you lower down. Inhale. Shift your weight forward. Coming into lizard. Bring both hands to the inside of that right foot. Allow your right foot to walk out to the outside edge. And then roll your foot to the outside edge so you can see the sole of your foot. Drop your hips. Stay here on your hands or lower to your elbows. We're going to do this 2 times, so maybe the second time you want to lower to your elbows, but breathe. Good. Inhale as you walk that foot back into the center. Frame your foot with your hands. Tuck those left toes under. Inhale, sweep that right leg all the way back to a 3-legged dog. Exhale, bring your right foot down. Back to your down dog. Lift your tailbone. Good. Inhale, sweep that left leg high. Reach. Exhale, step through, low lunge. Dropping that right knee down. Inhale, drive through that left heel. Bring yourself up. Sink those hips as you exhale. Good. Exhale here. Hands come down. Shift your weight back. Half splits. Make sure this knee doesn't hyperextend. Reach. Inhale, moving forward to lizard. Both hands on the inside. Walk that foot to the edge, then roll off the edge. Stay here up on top of your hands or drop to your elbows. Just keep breathing. Good. Inhale. Bring your weight back. Let that foot come to the center. Take your left hand down. So now you're framing that foot. Tuck those right toes under. Lift that right leg. Sweep that left leg back up high to a 3-legged dog. Breathe. Exhale. Lower that foot down.
Good. Inhale, raise your right foot. Breathe as you point, reach to the sky. Exhale, step through, low lunge. Drop your left knee down. Drive through that right heel. Inhale your way back up. Hands come up. Drop your hips. Adding a little here. Inhale. Bring your hands behind you. Interlace your fingers. Drive your shoulders down. Reach your hands down below your glutes. Drop your hips forward and lift your heart. Lift your chin. Breathe. And exhale. Let go. Bring your hands down towards the mat. Sit your hips back. Extending this right foot forward and lifting your toes to the sky. Half splits. Maybe you can go a little further. Inhale. Shifting your weight forward, moving to lizard. Bring both your hands on the inside. Walk that foot all the way out to the edge. Roll. And then come to your elbows. On the second time around, or stay up high, just drop your shoulder, or drop your hips. Breathe here. Good, inhale, press through your hands, bring yourself back up, walking to the middle of your mat. Tuck your toes, sweep that right leg back, coming to that three-legged dog. Exhale, right foot down. Inhale, lift your left leg high. Exhale, step through, low lunge. Drop your right knee, drive through that left heel, bring yourself up, reaching up with your hands, dropping your hips forward. Adding on, inhale, take those hands, exhale, take your hands behind you, interlace your fingers, reaching past your glutes, lift your chin, lift your chest, drop your hips forward, breathe. Stretch to the front of your body. And exhale, hands come down, shift your weight back into your half splits, lengthen forward, think nose to toes, not nose to knee. Whoa, hyperextended knee there. Good, move forward into lizard, bring both your hands to the inside, walk that foot out to the knife edge, let it fall, dropping to your elbows, drop your hips down. Breathe. Good. Inhale, press into your hands. Walk that foot to the center. Frame your foot. Tuck your right toes. Lift that left leg high. Coming back to that three-legged dog. And exhale. Bring your foot down. Lift your hips. Good. Moving on. Inhale, lift your right leg as high as you can. Stretch, point that toe. Exhale, step through, warrior two. Pivot that back foot open. Strong through your feet. Lift yourself up on your inhale, dropping in to that warrior two stance. Your right leg is bent as best as you can. The non-benefit of doing this on carpet is this is when you're really gonna see me slide. So hopefully you're secure. You might have to shorten your stance a little bit if you do start to slide. Hold on to your inner thighs. This right knee should be bent and you should be able to see at least your first two toes. Left leg, not hyperextend, but a little bend. Hips scooped under, belly up and in, shoulders down. Reach directly out of your shoulder sockets and then look over your right fingers. Breathe. Good, inhale, straighten your right leg, moving to triangle pose. I want you to look over your left arm. Let your hips shift back to the left, reaching for the right. Reach, 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 reach. When you can't reach anymore, pivot at your shoulders and let your right hand come down. Your left hand goes high.
trying to stack your shoulders. Try not to reach for the ground. As soon as you do that, you bend your back. You're no longer in triangle. Keep your back straight, your core lifting, your legs strong. Inhale your way up. Halfway through, let your hips shift back to the center. And then moving back through your reverse triangle. Straight legs, left knee, little micro bend. Drop your shoulders away from your ears. Stretch through that right side body. And breathe. Good. Exhale as you cartwheel your hands down to the ground. Frame that foot. Pivot your left toes around. And then sweep that right leg back up to your three-legged dog. And then exhale, come down to downward facing dog. Take a breath. Inhale, lift that left leg high, point your toe to the sky. Exhale, step through, warrior two. So I'm gonna keep my back to you so you can see the opposite side. Left knee bent, left heel lined up with the arch of your right foot, right knee, now hyperextend, bending. Make sure you can see your toes. Your hips are scooped under, your glutes are under, your belly's up and in. Reaching, dropping those shoulders. Good, inhale, straighten that left leg, look back towards your right hand. Let your hips shift back as you reach forward to your left. Hip pops are extra credit, of course. Lowering your left hand, raising your right. Breathe through this triangle. If you find yourself slipping, gently bend that left knee. Pull yourself back up. Use your core. Good, inhale. Coming back through center, hips shifting just a smidge as you move through that reverse triangle. Right hand down, left hand reaches. Breathe and stretch through your left side body. Good, exhale your way down. Coming down, cartwheeling down. Pivot those right toes around. Shift that left leg back up to a three-legged dog. And exhale, bring that foot down. Good. Coming back to downward dog. We'll add a little bit more. So inhale, lift that right leg, bending your right knee, opening your dog. Keep your foot flexed. Stretch through your lowest part of your core on your right side. Good, inhale, stretch that leg straight. Bring your hips square with the ground. And then exhale, step through, warrior two. Pivot your back foot, inhale your way up. Ooh, am I shifting? Settle into that warrior two base. Inhale your way up and out. Breathe. Inhale, straighten that right leg. Look towards the left. Let your hips shift to the left as you reach to the right. Pivoting down to triangle. Keep your shoulders away from your ears. Maybe this time you can look up towards your left hand. Breathe. Core engaged. Head inhale. Lift up, shift your hips. Reverse your triangle. Good. Cartwheel your way all the way down. Turn that left foot, coming back to a three-legged dog. And exhale, come back to downward facing dog. Inhale, lift your left leg high, bend at your knee, open your dog. Push your hips out to the left side of your mat. Good, inhale. Straighten your legs, square your hips with the ground. Exhale, step through, warrior two. Driving through your feet. I've shortened my stance just a little. Hopefully that will help with my triangle. Set your weight down, make sure you're not leaning. Arms engaged. Inhale, straighten your left leg, look towards your right. Let your hips shift towards the right, reach to the left, and then pivot down. Left hand down, right hand up. Maybe you can see that right hand, maybe not. Maybe you slept wrong. Look down towards the left, it's okay. Inhale your way up, reversing that triangle. Allow your hips to shift. Left hand goes high, right hand goes down your right leg. Breathe through your left side body. Good. Exhale, cartwheel all the way down. Turn those right toes. Sweep that left leg back up and exhale down. Good. From your downward facing dog, bring your knees down to the edges of your mat. Sit your hips down, toes to a touch. Come into your child's pose. Rest here. Maybe you have a few extra pops and cracks through your hips. I'm going to shift my mat just a little. So just rest, come back to your breath. Allow your heart to sink. We'll move on to our next warrior series. If you need a drink, this is a good time to get it. If you need a towel off, that's a good time. If you need a distraction because all you can see is where you need to vacuum on your carpet, just close your eyes. We'll do that later. Settle in, calming your nervous system. Use your breath. Good, inhale. Lift your head, lift your hips, bring yourself back to that tabletop. Your knees are underneath your hips. Tuck your toes. Lift your hips as you exhale back to that downward facing dog. Take a minute here to pedal through those tight calves, those tight Achilles. Breathe. Lift your tailbone. Good. Inhale. Lift that right leg as high as you can. Three-legged dog. Open your dog by bending that right knee. Inhale. Straighten your leg. Bring your knee to your nose as you exhale. Inhale. Sweep that leg back up to a three-legged dog. Exhale. Step through warrior one. We're going to take our back foot, open it 45 degrees. Drive through that right heel. Lift yourself up. Bringing your hands up high. Exhale, bring your hands behind you, interlace your fingers, reach down past your glutes, lift your heart, lift your chin, try to tuck your tailbone under, rebend that right knee. Good. Inhale, bring your hands back around, open that back foot, warrior two, sink, should feel very familiar, muscle memory kicking in. Good, bend that back leg as you inhale. Launch yourself forward to a half moon. Reaching for the ground. Lifting that left leg high, right arm, left leg, left hand high. Boy, it's hard to do this. Good, exhale, bring your left hand down. Bring your left foot behind your right. Bend both of your knees. Bring your left knee down to the ground first. And then sit your booty down as your right knee stacks on top. If this is unattainable, it's okay to leave your leg as close as you can to this position. We're simply looking for a seated twist by also twisting our legs. So whichever way you land is beneficial. Sit up nice and tall and twist over towards your right. Breathe. Take your shoulders down away. Good, inhale. Come all the way around to your left. Plant both of your hands on the side of your body or the side of your mat, your lengthwise of your mat. Lift your hips up high and pivot around on your left knee. Bring your hands to the front of your mat. Bring both of your knees down. So now you're back in that tabletop.
Tuck your toes under, lift your hips high, downward facing dog. Good. Inhale, lift that left leg as high as you can. Open your dog. Stretch as you push your hips underneath. Inhale, stretch that leg straight behind you. Square your hips, bring your knee to your nose as you exhale. Inhale, sweep that left leg up. Exhale, step through, warrior one. Back toes, 45-degree angle, drive through this left heel. Lift yourself up with your breath. Square your hips around to the front edge of your mat. Exhale, bring your hands down. Interlace your fingers. Pull your arms down as you lift your chest, lift your heart. Drive through that left heel. Tuck your tail. Good, inhale. Take your hands apart, open up to that warrior two. Sinking down through your hips. Reaching out. Trying to breathe. Good. Your next inhale, bend that back leg. Launching yourself forward as you exhale into that half moon. Don't hit yourself on a bookcase. Lift that right leg. Lift your right hand. Breathe. Belly in. Good. Exhale your right hand down. Square your hips with the ground. Bring that right foot back behind your left. Bend both of your knees. Bring your right knee down first. Stack your left knee on top. Coming into half Lord of the Fish. Ardha Matsyendrasana. Sit up tall, twisting over to your left. Shoulders drop. Breathe. Good. Inhale, twist back around to your right. Drive both hands into the ground. Lift your booty off of the mat. Pivot around on your right knee. Bring your left knee down to join. Plant your hands. Inhale or exhale. Drive your hips up. Downward facing dog. Inhale. Lift that right leg high. Bend at the knee. Stay here at your open dog. Or flip your dog. Allow your right foot to come down behind you. Lift, stretch, reach. Keep that right heel high. Good. Exhale. Come back around to your three-legged dog. Reaching high. Inhale up. Exhale, knee to nose. Arch through your back. Good. Inhale. Back lift. Exhale. Step through. Warrior one. Inhale your way up. Square your hips. Drive through that right heel. Tuck your tail. Exhale, hands down. Interlace. Lift your heart. Bend that right knee. Good. Inhale. Warrior two. Keep that right foot pointing to the front. Left foot opens. Sink. Lift. Breathe. Good. Bend that back knee. Moving to your half moon. Take your time. Use your breath. Engage your core. Lift. Exhale. Left hand comes down. Square your hips with the ground. Take that left foot behind your right. Sink that left knee down first. Stack your right knee on top. Sit up tall. Twist towards your right. Maybe you can go a little further. Don't push. Just find your edge. Good. Inhale your way back. Plant both of your hands. Lift your hips up. Pivot around on that left knee. Bring your right knee down to join. Tuck your toes. Lift your hips. Downward facing dog. Good. Inhale. Left leg comes up high. Bend at the knee. Open your dog. Stay here. Or drop that left foot behind you. Flipping your dog. Keep that left heel high. Lift your hips to the sky. Reach with that left hand. Good. Good, exhale, drop those hips, point back through that left leg high. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, sweep that leg up high. Exhale, step through, warrior one. Inhale your way up. Exhale, hands come down, interlace your fingers, lift your chin and your chest. Hips are square, tailbones tucked. Inhale, open up to your warrior two. Good, moving to your half moon. Use your breath, bend that back leg, launch yourself gently forward. Good, exhale, right hand down, right foot behind your left. Bring that right knee down first. Left knee on top, sitting down. Sit up nice and tall, twist to your left. Breathe. Twist all those toxins out. Good, inhale. Back to center. Plant both of your hands. Lift your booty, spin around on that right knee. Bring yourself back to that tabletop. And from here, take your knees wide, toes to a touch. Sit back, child's pose. Stretch and reach. Moving into the cool down. Using some of this heat that we produce to stretch a little bit more deeper through your body. So this morning's EverFit practice that I taught, this is where the tape cut off. So hopefully my students put themselves in Shavasana nicely. So when you're in your child's pose here, just keep breathing. Keep your heart dropping to the ground. Maybe it feels good to shift your weight from knee to knee, kind of wiggling your hips. Breathe. Good, inhale. Find your way pushing yourself up to a seat. Bring your knees together. And then you're gonna take your weight, shift it to one side. I'm gonna turn so I can face the camera. You just come to a seat on your mat. Bring your right leg out. The left sole of your foot will connect with the right inner thigh. Sit up as tall as you can. Keep this right foot flexed. Actually, I don't know if I'm mirroring you. This might be your left, whatever. Pick a foot. Inhale your way up. From your stretched out spine, shoulders down, sits bones down, crown and hands reaching tall. Twist your core over. So now you're in line with your outstretched leg. Hinge at the hips, falling forward. Let your hands drop down. Reach your nose to your toes, not your nose to your knee. Nose to your toes, maybe pulling yourself forward. If you can reach your feet, great. Engage your biceps, pull yourself. If you can't reach your feet, you're reaching your ankle, pull. If you're reaching your knee, pull. Think chin and chest lifted. And slowly, with your exhales, you'll start to lower each time. As you lower, the stretch will move from just being in your hamstring to all of a sudden it's in the left side or the right side of your back, whichever. Your opposite knee, it's in your low back over here. Make sure this opposite knee stays down towards the ground. Don't let it lift. Keep stretching, keep reaching, keep breathing. Good, inhale. Use your core, lift yourself back up. Take your hand that's on your bent knee, place it into the ground behind you, and you're gonna lift up with your hand, lift up with your hips so you're on your knee and your heel. Stretched, little mini back bend here. Reach, breathe. Exhale, bring your hips back down, hands down, we'll switch legs. Take your opposite leg, stretch and reach forward. Flex that foot,
Bring your opposite sole of your foot to the inside. Sit up nice and tall, sits bones connected down. Inhale as you reach up, twisting over. Exhale, hinge forward at your hips. Allow your hands to float, reaching for the ground. Your knee, your shin, your ankle, maybe your feet, maybe crisscross your hands. Engage your biceps, pull your upper body forward. Move this stretch from just in your hamstring to the outside of your low back, opposite hip. Breathe. Use your exhales to your advantage. Good, inhale. Lift yourself, engage your core to come up. Take your opposite hand back behind you. Lift with your right hand or left. Inhale your body up. Stretch and reach. Breathe. Good, exhale. Lower everything down. Good. Coming to a wide leg forward fold. I'm going to scoot back just a little bit so I know you can see me. Take your legs as wide as you can. Flex your feet. That's the most important part. Keep those feet flexed. Sit forward in your pelvic bowl so your sits bones are just maybe a little bit behind you. And then as you are inhaling, I want you to reach and exhale. Again, hinge at your hips. Let your hands float down. You might only be right here today. That's fine. Keep those feet flexed. Stay here. As your exhales work with you, you'll find yourself being able to reach down. Maybe bring your elbows down. Reflex your feet. Breathe. Maybe you can bring your hands even further. Keep your back straight. It's not about dropping your head down and arching through your back, right? It is about keeping your back straight, chin and chest lifted, lowering down, keeping this through your inner thigh, not through your spine. So stay where you're comfortable. And then maybe you are very flexible. You can take your peace sign fingers, lock in with your big toe, and pull yourself down. Chin and chest still lifted. Reach here. Good, inhale. Find your way back up ever so slowly. Engage your core to do so when you're sitting back up. Take your knees, bring them back together. Help your legs get there. And maybe shake your legs out. And then we'll turn so you're laying on your mat kind of the correct way, not the long way, but the short edge of the mat. And lower yourself down ever so slowly, one vertebrae at a time. Coming into a supine position, meaning just laying on your back. Bring your heels as close as you can to your glutes. So close that when you extend your arms, you can reach your heels. And then as you inhale, I want you to drive through those heels. Lift your hips up high. Maybe move your ponytail out of your neck. And reach those hips up. Once you get those hips lifted, tuck those shoulders underneath. Interlace your fingers. Pull your arms down towards your heels as you lift your hips, lift your heart, lift your chin. Take your tongue off the roof of your mouth. Breathe. Good. Exhale. Take your hands apart. Let your spine come down. One vertebrae at a time. When you land, take your shoulders out from underneath you so you're laying flat. Take your heels as wide as your mat. Engage your core here. Allow both of your knees to fall to one side. Windshield wiper them back and forth, moving slowly, moving mindfully. When you land, stretch through the side of your body, the lowest part of your core, the top of that hip. And inhale your way back. Stretch as you land on the other side. Good, inhale. Stay here in the center. Bring your knees into your chest. Wrap your arms around your knees or hands around your knees and rock side to side. Allow your shoulders to stay down. This is called wind removing position because it's hard to breathe. So allow your knees to push the stale air out. Good. Hold your center rock. Take your arms straight down to the ground, straight out from your shoulder sockets. And allow both of your knees to fall to the right in a supine twist. When they land, enjoy the deep twist. Maybe you'll feel a little snaps and crackle and pops through your back. Take your right hand, put it on top of your left knee, and then look over towards your left side. Make sure that left shoulder is away from your ear. Breathe here. I want you to envision your left shoulder and your left hip being pulled away from each other, stretching through this left side body. Breathe, engage your rib cage to expand, and then fall, allowing those intercostal muscles to move. Good. Inhale your way back to center, using your own breath. And when you're ready, exhale your way over to the other side. Take your left hand, place it on top of your right knee, and then look towards your left. Or wait, look towards your left, towards your right. Make sure your right arm is tucked under. Breathe here. That right shoulder goes away from that right hip. That right rib cage expands and lifts and falls on the exhale. Good. Inhale, back to center. Bring your knees back. When you land flat, take both of your hands through your knees, reaching to the knife edge, the outside edge of your feet. Pull your feet down. Pull your knees down. Let your tailbone rest down towards the ground. Let your shoulders come down towards the ground. And then feel free to rock right and left, making sure that we're resetting that SI joint, calming your nervous system, opening those hips one last time. Good. Exhale, bring your knees back together. Allow your feet to come down to the ground, down to your mat. Allow your legs to either stay exactly where they are. Just move your feet to the edge of your mat and let your knees come to a touch if you feel that your low back is a little sore. And bring your palms facing the ceiling, but down towards the ground. Relax your shoulders. Pull those shoulders away from your ears. If your low back feels great, long, and lengthened, take your legs down to the ground, expand, lengthen, and then just let your feet fall open to the sides. Close your eyes and breathe. Final Shavasana. Stay here, scan your body. What's changed? Start at your head, start at your hair. Your hair follicles move all the way down your body. Hair to forehead, to eye sockets, cheekbones, nose, mouth, your jaw, your throat. Breathe. Your shoulders. Your arms, your hands, maybe wiggle your fingers, let some energy out. Coming back up through your shoulders, down around your chest, your heart center, through your chest cavity, your abdomen. Relaxing, breathing deeply. Wrapping around your hips, through your glutes, the top part of your quadriceps, moving down into your legs, your hamstrings, your quads, wrap around your knees, trickling down your shins, your calves, your ankles, your heels, and finally out your toes. Take a deep breath. Let everything go. Good. On your next inhale, wiggle your fingers and toes. Take your arms up above your head. Take a full body stretch. Exhale. Bring your knees into your chest. Wrap your arms around your knees. Rock side to side. Breathe. Falling into the fetal position on your right side. Use your right bicep as a pillow. Let your left hand fall down to the ground. Settling into this restorative pose. Good. Inhale, find your way back up to an easy seat at the top of your mat. When you're in your easy seat, bring your hands to heart center. Take a deep inhale, lift your shoulders, lift your whole body up. And exhale, close your eyes, drop your chin, drop your shoulders away. Let your hands rest at heart center. Relax, surrender, let go. Thank you all for joining me. It was my honor to lead you through. Hopefully this practice settles our quarantine life a little. Happy Sunday. Wash your hands, eat good food, be kind. Until we meet again, namaste. Bye, everybody. Thank you.